Hey guys, this is David, and Angie and I were out with the kids today exploring in Michigan, and we discovered this gorgeous river behind us, if you can see it on the camera. And there's the kids back there. There's some people fly fishing over there, and it's super gorgeous here. It's actually one of the biggest rivers we've seen so far. Anyways, we're having a great time, and I just wanted to stop and shoot this quick video for you about how to get total freedom. And this is something that Angie and I were talking about yesterday. And as in our conversation, we came up with the idea that there's basically 3 levels of freedom, and in our experience, in our life so far, they've had to come in order. And the first one is freeing your mind. This is how it happened in my own experience. Before I was able to accept that there was more possible in my life, that I was capable of more, and that freedom could be a reality for myself, until I accepted that and truly believed in it, I had no hope. And there was no way out for me until I first became free in my mind. That's when I first had like the epiphany. I remember I was driving to work one day and I was thinking about how much I get paid per hour. And at that time I was making $30 an hour, which at that time seemed like a lot to me. But I was thinking, is $30 an hour worth, is $30 worth 1 hour of my life, right? It's not just time. Time is money, right? But time is also life. You don't get an hour back, and I'm selling an hour of my life for $30. How much is an hour of my life worth? I started to think on that drive to work, and I came to the idea that, hey, I think an hour of my life you can't put a price on it. So what am I doing selling it? And it almost made me kind of disgusted in a way that I was letting myself do that with my life. So first step then was to get free in my mind. And I think that was the biggest hurdle. It actually took me 12 years to be able to become free in my mind. So I think that's the toughest one. And once you can become free in your mind, you can start to move on to the other things, but the other 2 levels of freedom. But at that point, you have momentum. So it's much easier to cross the other 2 hurdles. The second level of freedom, the second step would be freeing your time. So you can keep going in your freedom, because what's freedom if you don't have any time? It's not much freedom if you're still a slave. You might be free in your mind, and that's great, and that's a huge achievement, but you still need to have your hours. You need to have your days and your life back, because as long as you're selling that, as long as you're giving that to some boss, you're not truly free. So once you're able to get free in your mind, that's the next step. How do I free my time? This is where, for me in my journey, home business came into effect, and it came into play. And that's where I spent a long time just figuring that out. So I was able to free my time through home business. And the final step, and I think the most important one, and what we're really heading towards here, is freedom of your spirit. Freedom of your spirit, that's when you find your true purpose and true fulfillment in life, and true happiness is there. True happiness is not the mental freedom or the time freedom that comes from mastering money. It comes from spiritual freedom, from the bad characteristics of your ego. Once you're able to free yourself from that, then you are truly free. And truth is, really, if you get that and don't have the other 2, you will achieve happiness anyways. I mean, there's stories of spiritual people who have achieved enlightenment and freedom from themselves while they were slaves, actual real slaves, right? But I think in this time that we're in, and especially if you live in the West, these things have to come in order. Things change in different times in human history. So in this time that we're in, I think that this is the logical progression of freedom. Freedom of the mind, freedom of your time and your money, and then spiritual freedom. I tried doing this different ways, and that's the way I found is the most effective and actually the easiest. So that's what I recommend. If you don't believe that you can have freedom yet, that's your first step. You need to work on yourself and your mind, get your mind free, and then start looking at business. And after you've conquered money and business and time is yours, then the whole world is yours. Now you go out there and explore and move into your purpose, like your passion that God put into you, your reason for being on this earth, which more than likely is to help other people in some capacity. Everyone does it in their own way. We all have our own gifts. But once you find that for yourself, then that's total freedom. And you've reached the last stage, and from there on, I'm sure that there's other stages. We keep evolving to infinity, but you got it there. I mean, that's a complete life in my opinion. So thanks for watching my video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.